Welcome, everybody, to another live stream. I know, it's been a while. I've been traveling around. I went on a very long drive to a convention last weekend in Minneapolis, Minnesota. See, I did a little test run, and I got that wrong, but I got it right this time. And I just wanted to say hello to all my friends in Minneapolis. It was great seeing you. I had a wonderful time. Thank you so much. You guys are great, and I hope to see you very soon again. And also, just as a side note, and please, if you're from Illinois, please comment and answer this for me. Why is it that I have to pay a toll every 10 freaking miles through your whole damn state? I mean, I'm from Pennsylvania. We have the highest per mile toll road in the country. At least I know it used to be. Is it still? The price keeps going up, so they want to stay on top. But nonetheless, at least you don't have to pay that toll until you get to the end. So, I'm just trying to get through your state. I don't even want to stop and get snacks. Just let me get through the state, and I'll pay the toll at the end. Anyway, that's not what this live stream is about. That's just a rant. This is the second live stream that I've done regarding Power the Prime's Starscream. You guys may remember several weeks ago I did a live stream about this guy, and you can see that my Starscream is a little bit different than the out-of-the-box version because I took off those horrible foil stickers that were covering his wings and did a little bit of detail painting to give him the red stripe. He looks much better now. I hate those foil stickers. I don't know what they were thinking. But as many Transformers fans will remember, Starscream came out and he creates a torso to a Combiner Wars style combiner. And then the expectation would be that you'd have some other characters to combine with him. Now, we did get Darkwing and Dreadwind, and they were fine, but I mean, honestly, what the heck do they have to do with Starscream? I don't even know if they ever met, unless and yes, I am glowing. I am angelic, by the way, because the light box is right here. So if I put my arms right here, then I start to look a little bit more normal. My microphone is magic. Like this is the magic unicorn of microphones, and I'm really happy with it because I don't think I'm getting any background noise on this. So special thanks to Nathan Fillion for letting me borrow this, because and I may just have to buy one because I really like it. And it's so big. They say that size doesn't matter, but anyway, going back to Power of the Prime Starscream. So in what little off time that I have, no, I'm not pregnant. Thank you very much. In what little off time that I have, I've been chipping away at this project to take knockoff aerial bots and kitbash them and repaint them to turn them into likenesses of Gen 1 Decepticon Seekers. You know the ones I'm talking about. Skywarp, Thundercracker, Dirge, Ramjet, Thrust. And I've made some progress, so I thought, we should probably show what's going on. So without any further ado here, I'm going to show you where I'm at with Skywarp. We'll just put him in the old light box here and change the view. Now, from this view, he obviously looks just like Air Raid. Very little differences that you can tell from the vehicle mode because I haven't done the detail painting to give him that classic black, silver, and purple aesthetic. He's still sporting the red and orange stripes and those beautiful, not quite Autobot, not quite Decepticon symbols on the wings. So those will go away, but you'll get to see them in robot mode. Let's just do a little bit of... So this is where, you know, my 9-year-old self would be able to do this much faster, but you know, now I'm ancient. I'm just such an ancient guy, and so it takes a little bit longer to do the special things with Transformers to make them into characters. So you can see I've done a little bit of surgery. I've added some shoulder vents here, which twist for the transform, and we're gonna twist his head also. So click that out of the way, and then these twist, and yes, those are Lego pieces. So, you know, it's always good to use Legos in your kit bashing because Legos are fantastic parts, and hey, Legos and Transformers should go together. So we'll pop his shoulders out just like this and pull them up, and then flip that up, and then take the guns off here, put them behind just like that, and then I'm plugging them in underneath the arms. I know that traditionally the Decepticons' weapons would go on the bicep, but you know, these are, like I said in the last live stream, these are kind of a reimagining of the characters. They are not intended to be completely Gen 1 accurate. Sort of think about the way that that IDW reimagined a lot of the characters and gave them very distinctive likenesses that were reminiscent of the original versions, but took it in a new direction. So let's just take this and set him over here and try and make him so that he doesn't look too awkward when he's standing there. There we go. And now change the camera, and boom, you can't see his head. So let's just adjust this just a little, and there he is. It seems to be a little bit hard to get the camera to focus on him, so I'm sorry that this is moving around. There we go. All right, and I'll move him back a little bit so that he's more in the focal point of the camera. And yeah, there you go. So that is that is Sky Warp. Yeah, that's a faux pas. He's Thundercracker. Jeez, I must be getting old. So you'll notice that the body has been sanded and smoothed from the original Aerialbot body, and that was not really intentional. That's something that I had to do because I tried applying dye to the body, and a lot of the videos that I saw talked about using acetone to soften the plastic to get the dye to take. Well, that didn't work with these at all. In fact, all it did was cause the plastic to shed in a strange way. It was actually kind of fuzzy, and I had to sand the whole thing down, and it was kind of a nightmare. And so that led me to having to do some resculpting. But still, this says Skywarp to me. You know, I'm happy with it. Now I need to do some more detail painting, but I'm liking the direction that he's taking. So that's kind of a nice thing. So let's do a little swapping here, and I'll show you. I got a little bit creative with Thundercracker. So we'll see how that looks. This is Thundercracker, and you can see that I've put the wings on the bottom, and that gives for kind of an interesting vehicle mode. It does make the arms more visible, which is an unfortunate problem with the design of the Combiner Wars aerial bots. They did nothing to disguise the arms. Now we can do a little bit of switching here, and you know, a little bit of So we'll take the weapons off, and you'll get to see why I chose to do the moving the wings on the underside. So we'll transform the legs. These ones, all these characters, the biggest part of the transform is just extending the legs and then pulling arms out. There's not a whole lot more to them, and that is the way that they were built originally. Nonetheless, you can take that part off. So here's where things get a little bit interesting. What I do is I fold the wings down like this, and then I swing the whole thing up like that, and then pull the arms out like that. And now he has a more traditional wing position for a seeker with the wings on his back. And we swivel the head around. And unfortunately, with all of these, you're going to have the nose cones sticking up because they are just kitbashes of aerial bots. I'm not doing major work on these to change them heavily. And here's another thing that I did. So I've got these little pieces right here, and I got these out of Hot Wheels cars. I got a bunch of them, and what I do is I have them as a little extra cosmetic piece that sticks onto the chest, and then we can stick these onto the arms. Once again, with the aerial bots, weapons go on the forearms rather than on the biceps, and you're just going to have to live with it. I'm sorry, that's just how it's going to be, because there are joints in here, so you can't even drill in there without interfering with the movement of the joint. So let me put that in the light box so that you can get a good view. We'll just move that over here. And there we go. Do a little bit of camera swapping. Maybe move him just a little bit forward. I like him better back. Oh, don't fall over. Don't fall over. Maybe I need to adjust the feet just a little. So there he is. And once again, we'll do a little bit of camera adjusting. Sorry that it kind of makes it a little bit woozy. I'm not trying to make people motion sick. And so there he is. And once again, I'm liking the direction. He definitely needs some more detail painting. He needs the red on the wings. I could see some more silver highlights, maybe some black highlights. But he's looking the part. And I especially like having the wings up above the shoulders like that. Even though they're very high for a Decepticon Seeker, I'm okay with it. I think that he looks kind of cool that way. So that is Thundercracker. So let's get into some cone heads. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of these. So let's take a look at Dirge. Back here and switch the camera angle, and so here he is, and you can see that he's gone through some surgery. Obviously, the wing configuration took a lot of recreating hinges and stuff like that. I'm liking the colors. He's looking the part, and of course we have to transform him. So once again, we will take the weapons off. It wouldn't be transforming a Seeker if you didn't take the weapons off. And then we fold the wings up, we pull the arms out, we move the shoulders, And move the shoulder on the other side. Pull the cockpit back. Pivot the head. Extend the legs. I do like the way that they did the legs on these guys. You know, it's a little bit different than the old just pull them out and hope that they stay extended that you saw in the Gen 1 line a lot. And we'll put that up like that. And twist the forearms around. And once again, I'm putting the weapons in the undersides of the forearms here. And we have Dirge. And we'll put him into the light box so you can get a good view. So this is Dirge, and I'm really happy with the way that he's looking so far. I haven't come up with a clear piece to put in the chest yet. Originally, what I was going to do is just paint these, paint the little nub to represent a cockpit chest. But then I had the Hot Wheels cars, and I thought, hey, you know what? I can make them fit. Now, if you look at the head, and I'm sorry that I can't seem to get my camera to focus in on the head any better than that. I really need a camera with a macro setting. But, this is all a process. If you look at the head, this is just a straight up repaint of I want to say that it was Skydive. I was never good at remembering the aerial bots' names. I could remember Silverbolt, and that was pretty much it. Whatever his name was, all I did was I painted the head different colors. I painted the eyes red and painted the face black, and then made the rest of the head blue. And the nice thing is the shape of the head is already kind of that cone shape. It's not peaked the way that the original Gen 1 Seekers were, the Conehead Seekers at least, but it's reminiscent of the shape, which is fine because, the long, tall cone was kind of silly looking. I don't know about anybody else, but most of the time when I was using those toys when I was a kid, I would actually fold the cone back the way that they were on Starscream, Thundercracker, and Skywarp, because that tall nose cone was just kind of ridiculous. So nonetheless, that is Dirge, and I'm loving the colors. He pops. I really like the. I used kind of a satin black rather than a glossy black, and I'm happy with how that's looking. It kind of gives him a unique aesthetic. So that is Dirge, and he is pretty darn cool. I'm happy with him. And sort of last, but certainly not least, we have Thrust. Let's change the view. So this is Thrust. And you can see that I gave him his vertical takeoff jets on the wings, and it's pretty obvious those are Matchbox wheels nested inside each other. And then I cut holes into those double-barreled guns, put a hole in the underside of the wings so that they could poke through, and then they just attach right on top. And I really like the effect. I can remove them if I want to use as hand weapons, but I really like them there. And sure, he's not Gen 1 accurate, but he's pretty cool. I think he's cool. You don't have to think he's cool. If you think he's lame, it's okay. But tell me that you think it's cool, because that'll keep it from hurting my feelings. So let's do the transform. You have to see the transform. That's what this live stream is all about, seeing the transform. So I take off my little piece that I stole from yet another Matchbox thing, and I pull the arms out to the sides, pull the wings back out of the way. I go hold on. Much better. My cat is looking at me like I'm a crazy person. Okay, at this point, my transform noise has turned into a bad impression of Donald Duck. And I'm sorry about that, but, you know, it's how it goes sometimes. So, we now have Thrust, and you'll see some unique things that I've done with him. I'll put that on there. There. Oh, whoops. There we go. And we'll put him in the light box. Try and get him to stand up. There he goes. And we'll change the camera view. And boom, there he is. So this is Thrust. And you notice that I have him transformed with the wings on top. And I like it that way. I just think it looks badass. It reminds me of the Thrust that was done during one of the Transformer live action movies, you know, the Bay movies that were, you know, whatever. But there was kind of a kick-ass version of Thrust at that time that had the nose cone coming down and then it dropped down. And, you know, of course he had a spaghetti face, but I really liked the body dynamics. And I liked how they handled the wings, so I'm keeping that. Now you can move the wings to the back. Oh, his chest popped off. His little chest piece. So we'll stick that back on again. There we go. You can put the wings behind him in a little bit more of a traditional Thrust type position, but I like having them on top. You know, then he can shoot people with shoulder cannons, you know, like on top of the shoulder cannons rather than arm-mounted shoulder cannons. But you know, I'm really happy with the colors. You know, there could still be some detail painting to be done on him, but so far I'm really happy with him. And that makes me happy. So, I know I'm saying that a lot. You know, oh, I'm really happy with him. Oh, he looks okay. I'm happy with him. Sorry, I am. I mean, these things are a labor of love, but they're also a labor of frustration. I don't actually like having to repaint toys. I'd much rather have plastic that's already the right color, because even with the limited amount of playing that I've done with these things, I'm already seeing scrapes and chips because I just can't get a paint that won't chip when the plastic parts rub together, which is why Hasbro, if you would just do the repaints, and you don't even have to do all the stuff that I've done. I'm willing to take some just straight up repaints of aerial bots with names attached, done in the right colors, because you know what? I'll do the rest of the work. I've obviously already done this much work on these, and it was a lot worse with these. I've swapped out a lot of guys' parts. Like, this guy, he is not whatever his name was, Slingshot or whoever. He is a little bit of air raid and a little bit of Slingshot or whoever. Like I said, I can't remember Aerial Bot's names. But and I did the same thing with here. You can take a look. This is going to be Ramjet, and let me just show you in the light box what we've got going on here. And once again, this has to do with that whole problem of painting Transformers. The paint doesn't stick all that well, and they chip easily. So if the base color of the Transformer is wildly different from what you paint him, then the chips are obvious. So with him, I have taken the light gray pieces from one Aerial Bot and the black pieces from Air Raid, and made kind of, he's still got the triangular wing design. It's a little bit different from the Gen 1 version. You can see that I've added the shoulder vents, and I've got, of course, my my little Hot Wheels piece here. This one is designed to pivot up. It's got this little slide on the screw here, and then it'll pivot up out of the way, so that when he is combined, the Starscream parts can fit into there. And he has no head right now. The head has been removed for painting, but this is going to be Ramjet at some point here. Obviously, he's not there yet. So that is where we're at. I've got some other things in process. I've got I've got extra Omega Supreme feet. Yes, that's right. Gen 1 Omega Supreme feet. How often do you see those? And so, being that these are a valuable commodity that should be cherished, I have started cutting into them. And the idea here is to take, this is one of the Power of the Primes combiner feet that came with Starscream, and you can see how I've started cutting pieces off of this one, and eventually this is going to fit into here to create a large robot foot for the combined form. Because these little things, I mean, they just kind of look ridiculous, especially when you have characters like the Aerial Bots that tend to taper down as you get closer with the wings sticking out and stuff. He needs actual feet. So that is in the works. And I could show you the combined form, but it's not quite there yet. And it would take me 15 minutes just to transform everyone, and I don't think that you want to watch me do that. So I'm going to save that for a part 3. Once the new feet are done, and maybe I do some work on the hands, and I finish Ramjet. And I know what you're thinking. Why am I even doing Ramjet when I already have 4 other Seekers to combine with Starscream? Well, it is because in the Combiner Wars series, they very oftentimes ended up giving us 5 appendages. They would release them with 3 Gen 1 characters plus 1 that we'd never heard of, and then in a later wave, they would give us the original character that was missing, usually a repaint of one of the ones that had already been released. And as cheese as that kind of is, like, okay, we're going to throw in this new guy and you're going to buy him because you want to complete the combiner, but then we're going to give you the guy that you really wanted and you're going to buy him too. I've already told you, I'm a sucker. I will buy the extra characters. And I kind of like having these larger teams that, when Starscream and his armada attack, it's really an armada. When you got the aerial bots, it's not just 5 guys anymore. It's 6 guys, and then you add in Power Glide, and so it's 7 guys, and you've got a lot of different characters. You've got, some that are small, like Power Glide at the Scout class, up to the, Voyager class center. And so it wasn't quite as two-dimensional as when you just have, kind of a big guy and 4 little guys. That just seemed kind of formulaic. This new take on it and these more recent lines gave us so much more diversity. And as a designer, I find that really exciting and interesting. And so I love seeing these toys, and I don't understand why they didn't just make this guy for me. I mean, this is not rocket science. I would have bought him, and so would countless other nerds just like me who have adult jobs and money to pay for toys because they buy cheap cars, because they'd rather own these pieces of plastic than have a car payment. I've got news about that too. There's a new car on the way. Not going to give the details. It's a surprise. But there is a new car on the way. Mostly. So that's it. That's the live stream. And I'd like to thank everybody who watched this video. And thank you for kind of putting up with my technical limitations. I'm trying some experimental things. I got the new microphone. I'm trying out a light box. I'm really trying to come up with ways of making these videos better. I'm also working on a project in the basement where I'm trying to set up a space to do these videos so that instead of seeing my 70s yellow dining room, you actually have kind of a nice set. So, all sorts of stuff. And I appreciate that so many of you are willing to bear with me while I go through the process of growing my channel and trying some different things and throwing some things at the wall just to see what sticks. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. The channel doesn't work without all of you. So thank you very much. And there are more repair videos coming. Those ones are really hard. I mean, you do the repair and you shoot it, which makes the repair take twice as long. And then you spend another couple days editing the footage just to create a 6-minute video or less that the YouTube algorithm hates. Like, I'll do a live stream like this and it'll go on for an hour, and YouTube is like, woo, hey, thanks for doing that. And it'll promote my videos and it'll show it to lots of people. Whereas when I was really killing myself to get out those little 6-minute videos like once every week or 2 weeks, I was killing myself, and the algorithm was like, I guess I'll show you to a few people, but And also, I am aware that the algorithm hates variety channels like mine. Because you as viewers, you don't know what to expect. And I get that. The people that are coming to this channel looking for how to fix their brakes are not the same people that want to see me cutting apart innocent toys and making them better. Likewise, the people that want to see me cut up toys probably aren't wondering how to fix their brakes. They could be, but that's not how YouTube works. And I'm aware of it, and I know that I should just pick a direction and cut out all the other stuff. But that's not quite the way I work. It's been my problem my entire life. I'm interested in a lot of things. I'm interested in design. I'm interested in machines. I'm interested in cars. I'm interested in fixing things and fixing my home, fixing my car, fixing devices. I love old computers, and I love Raspberry Pis, and I love projects, and I love art projects, and I love toys and games. And so I end up doing videos about all sorts of stuff. And I guess for those people that are annoyed by that because you just don't know what you're going to get, I am sorry. I would like to make it a little bit easier for you to navigate my channel. But at the same time, this is who I am, and it's my name on the channel. It's not the fixing guy channel. It's not, I mean, granted, there are a lot of car videos. It could have very easily been just a fixing car channel, and that would have been fine, but I would have gotten bored, and it's really hard. But the channel probably would have grown a lot faster. So, you have to make decisions. And that's a life lesson. You have to make decisions. And sometimes you make a decision because of what you want to do, in spite of whether it's going to, say, make you more money in ad revenue or something like that. I like money, and I do like making money from ad revenue. I'm not going to pretend that I don't. But obviously, I don't like that stuff enough to ignore the things that I'm interested in favor of just doing stuff that'll get me more clicks. I never said that I was a smart person. And I'm definitely not a role model. But anyway, that I digress. Thank you so much for joining me on a rainy Pittsburgh night. And I hope to be back with you real soon. Next time, I won't wait so long to post another live stream. So until then, this is Clay Carlino showing you that you can take your knockoff Transformers that you ordered from AliExpress and paint them and kitbash them and turn them into completely different dudes. I'm having fun. Be brave. I'll talk to you soon.